Welcome to the UCD University Club. We are absolutely delighted to be part of this year's UCD Festival. We are thrilled to welcome Catherine Fulvio, TV chef, food writer and owner of Ballyknocken House Cookery School, who together with our head chef David Doyle will take us on a culinary experience to outdoor dining this summer. Before I hand you over to Catherine and David, I would like to remind you that we also have a super prize for 4 lucky viewers today for the online course for Catherine's Cookery School. So I will now hand you over to the capable hands of Catherine and David, who will take you through some of their favourite recipes, ideal for popping into our picnic baskets this summer or to enjoy Alfresco outside dining with our family and friends. Many thanks for joining us today, and we really do hope you enjoy.
I'm delighted to be back in my old alma mater. I won't tell you how long ago it has been since I was here, but we are here in UCD University Club, and beside me, socially distanced, is the executive chef, Mr. David Doyle, multi-talented, and together we're going to give you a little taste of alfresco dining because we are going to have a great summer. So to start with, I want to show you how to do a gorgeous chicken noodle salad. Now you can do this in jars or in a Buddha bowl or massive platters, because at some stage we will be allowed to have people over in our back gardens. So let's start, and the first thing we need to do is cook our chicken and cook our salad dressing. So the amazing thing about this is that you've got these beautiful flavours that you're building up in the chicken. So let's get a bit of heat on into our pan, and then we need a little bit of oil, and then flavour-wise I'm going with curry paste. So it's a Thai red curry paste, nice bit of heat in it. So let's get that in, and you cook that off. See, the thing about curry paste is cook it and you get better flavour. So don't just give it a quick flash fry, but give it a nice little bit of movement. Let's put that behind there. There we go. I'm conscious that stains everything, and I'm on to the next thing that stains now, David, the turmeric. So let's get a wooden spoon here, and we get a bit more heat up here. You can smell that cooking now. And the nice thing about the curry paste is give it a stir in the oil, and when you see it beginning to separate out, you know you're getting there. You know that flavour's building up. There's the sizzle. Yeah, we got it going. Right, the turmeric, really good for you, really healthy, and great for colour as well. Now what you don't want to do is burn your spices, so keep moving and get some spring onions in. Lovely bit of flavour with the spring onions. Give that a nice stir around. And another little drop of oil. So this could be something you could have done the night before and let it cool, because for the salad it needs to be cold. So let's get our temperature down. Now already you can see that lovely colour there, so we can pop in the chicken. So this is just chicken breast diced. This recipe works well with chicken thighs as well, wouldn't it? Yeah. It'd be lovely on a slow cook. Really, really nice. Pop that behind. And a bit of seasoning. You can never go wrong with a bit of salt and pepper. And season as you go. That's what you want. Don't leave it till the end, but just give it a little bit of seasoning as you go, and you'll find you use less. And try not to breathe over the pan just like I did there now, because you just literally get an inhalation of that chilli coming from that lovely Thai red curry paste. That's really nice Thai red curry paste, David. Yeah. Okay, so that needs to cook through. So you're talking a good 5 to 7 minutes. It's chicken breast, it's chopped small, so it'll cook faster than you think. So I'm just going to leave that to do its magic. And then over beside me, I'm making the salad dressing. Now this is a salad dressing that is a little different. It's a coconut salad dressing that you make and cool. So you have to cook it first. And you can make it in quantity and keep it in the fridge. It'll stay in the fridge for, I'd say, a good week. So you can have it with other things as well. So let's get our heat on here as well. And again, another drop of oil. I'm not holding back on the chilies today, David, am I? No. I'm going for it. Fresh. Yeah, with spring onions in. Will I put all that chilli in? Will I go for it? What do you think? Go for it. Right? Yeah. Is that one of those bird's eye ones? I know you chopped that earlier. I'll just give this another little stir. You can see the colour that this chicken is taking. I mean, this is gorgeous. And you know something? This is the kind of stuff that I would make at home for the kids anyway, and I would put this in pittas or in wraps as well. So it's just in itself as a chicken dish, a lovely recipe. That's looking good. The chilli is beginning to brown beautifully, but we don't want it too brown. Gives it a much greater heat if it gets very brown. Coconut milk, in that goes. I mean, there's really nothing to this recipe. It's just loads of really nice flavours, but it's not complicated. And I think that's what's important about the recipes. That's what I like. I like to use ingredients that I actually have at home in the kitchen or in the press, and yet build great flavours. So we need a bit of sweetness in here, so let's go with some honey. That's good Irish honey in there. Next, we need a bit of seasoning again. Like we say, season as you go. A little bit of salt. Are you getting that waft of the coconut milk? That's so nice, isn't it? I'm not going to put pepper in because I've got chilli in there, but I am going to finish it as I let it go on a low simmer at this point. Some lime juice. So in that goes. I don't put that in too early because I don't want to split that coconut milk, but now I just leave that to simmer with the lime juice in it. And that is going to be gorgeous. So your chicken takes about 5 to 7 minutes. Your dressing, you just leave to simmer for, again, around the same time. And then, when they're all cooked and cooled down, over to David. We have some that we made earlier, so we're going to plate it up. So we just need some salad to go with that. And how would you build this butter bowl? So what we have here is we've got our chicken that's already cooked, and you can see there's lovely colour in there. I'm putting in sweet corn, I'm putting in tomatoes, I'm putting in some lovely noodles. They're just regular egg noodles cooked in 3 minutes in stock or water. And that's all you need to do. And then a bit of lime zest over it at the end, and then the dressing. So what I was thinking was, for the summer, it's nice to do individual portions of it. And also we brought with us some jars. So I have these as well. So you can just layer it up in jars. If you are heading for a picnic, this could be packed up in the fridge the night before, ready to go. Now, it is quite a large portion for one person, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And if you're doing it in a jar, start with the dressing underneath and then colour, 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 build it up that way. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And you can put it in, make mini portions in jam jars as well for the picnic. But if you're doing it for, say, example, in your back garden, maybe instead of doing one individual bowl, do a big platter and just have all those colours. And if you wanted to build up even more colour, I sometimes put in red kidney beans as well for that really nice visual impact. And sure, everybody loves some beans, cannellini beans, kidney beans, anything like that. That's lovely, David. Really nice bit of colour there. Very, very nice. And you'll have lovely orange fingers. Well, luckily you had the gloves on there. The turmeric is what you've got to watch for.
Stain everything.
Yeah. And then a little bit of the dressing over it, and you can serve extra dressing on the side as well.
Exactly. Just finish that with a fresh lime.
Bit of lime. Gorgeous. Maybe that might make it here to the menu in the University Club day. What do you think?
Well, I think so. Yeah.
Trying to get my recipes in. It's worth a try. There you go. There is your first recipe for your Alfresco dining. This is our chicken noodle salad. Vietnamese beef salad. I absolutely adore this. It is so fresh, it is so zingy, and you're going to adore the actual salad dressing as well. But first of all, I need to make a marinade for the beef. Now you can do this with chicken, you can do it with lamb, but it's particularly good with beef. Fillet of beef I use for this. For the marinade, we just need a little spoon here, and here we have our key ingredients. So it's soy sauce, and then a lovely bit of oyster sauce. So there's a nice bit of sweetness in the oyster sauce, and there's a depth of flavour there as well. So we've got the saltiness of the soy sauce, and then that depth of flavour and the sweetness coming in. Now we've got a bit more sweetness coming in with sherry. You could use mirin, but not everybody has mirin at home. So I thought sherry would do nicely here. So in that goes. And you can't have an Asian marinade without some garlic. So in that goes too. And then you just give that a little mix around. This is very, very easy to do, and you can marinate your beef the night before. It's quite a dry marinade actually, because it soaks up everything, so you're not having to shake off excess marinade before you pan fry. This is fillet of beef, just cut up into strips, and the great news is this is going to cook really, really quickly. If you wanted to do this as a larger portion, you could use the whole fillet of beef, or like a portion of beef, and get out your barbecue and get it going on the barbecue. Absolutely lovely. And then just slice it up and put it on the salad at the end. So give that a nice mix around here. Smells great, doesn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to leave this now, ideally, at least 30 minutes. But for the purpose of today, we just leave it for as long as we can, and then fry it off. So pop that there, and we can get rid of this. Now the dressing. The dressing, I think, is a really easy, really tasty one. And it's a breakaway from, you know, the oily dressings, your classic vinaigrette. So it's very, very different in that sense. You start with brown sugar. And then we go on to a little bit of fish sauce. So that is your little bit of saltiness coming in. And as always with Asian marinades and dressings, plenty of garlic, plenty of ginger in there. A nice bit of red chilli. This actually keeps fresh as well in the fridge for easily a good week, so you can use it again and again. In here is lime juice and lime zest. And you definitely need some water in this to thin it out, because otherwise the flavour is just too strong. So we give that a nice mix up. Take another little bit of water. Doesn't need salt, doesn't need pepper, because you have the saltiness from the lime juice in there and you've got a nice bit of chilli in, but you can season to taste. So, David, over to you now for that one. So that's the dressing, and then we're going to...
Absolutely.
We can plate up.
Salad now, plate up.
So we've got a nice mix of salad leaves. You can go with anything you want in there. We've a lovely bit of rocket. I like the bite of rocket, don't you?
Yeah, nice peppery bite on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I like to dress the salad. I'm going to put in some cucumber.
Great for freshness, and you see that a lot in Vietnamese cuisine.
Yeah, some lovely fresh cherry tomatoes and some ripe mango.
Very, very nice. The colour of the mango is lovely. And I've done this same recipe with pineapple as well. Odd as it sounds, pineapple and beef go really well together. But you can also, instead of the beef, do prawns. And pineapple and prawns is a marriage made in heaven, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And works great with this oyster sauce as well.
It's really nice, lovely for colour there, David. And again, like with our chicken recipe, this can be done in a large platter and put in the centre of the table for everybody to dig in, because that's what's so great about food to share, that you can have some great colourful food with lots of different flavours coming through. That looks great, David. Now it's down to me to cook the beef.
Absolutely.
Right, I better get cracking on the beef then. So this is how quick this recipe is. You'll have it done in the blink of an eye. Let's get our pan on again. And a nice bit of oil. So let's get in with the beef. Now, this is not for the faint-hearted. You need a really high heat to sear this both sides. So you just have to go with it. Don't turn the heat down, because you'll end up boiling the beef in the juices of the meat itself or the marinade. So keep it nice and high and cook it away. And it's lovely, this kind of marinade, because you just get that gorgeous bit of sweetness coming from the oyster sauce. You get the caramelization on it. And the trick really is to cook it one side, flip it over, just as you were doing a steak or anything, cook it the other side. And because this is cut so small, to be done in a minute. So I'm going to step back in and have a look. And here we go. Look at the colour on that. That's exactly what we want.
Lovely.
So the trick really is the highest heat you can. No marinade, just the beef goes in, and really just flash fry it. And then you go straight, see, this is hot beef on a cold salad, and you go straight in on top of the salad. And David, you've arranged this so beautifully now. I'm going to have to gingerly put the beef on and make it look as pretty as I can, because you've done such an amazing job making it look so nice. But this, you will not be disappointed with this salad. Perfect for alfresco dining. I mean, who doesn't want lovely beef straight from the pan on top of the most flavourful of salads? Right. Okay, ordinarily, if this was me at home, I would put all that beef on, but I'm trying to make it look nice for you, so we'll just quit while we're at it. We've a bit of dill to put on top. And I have from the garden at home, this is borage. So borage is one of those beautiful herbs. In Italy, they actually use the borage leaves. They make pasta, borage pasta, but the flower itself is so pretty. It's star-like. And to be honest, once you plant it, you can't stop growing it. It just keeps coming back again and again. It's That's my kind of gardening though, I have to admit. But look at that. It just brings everything to life. Just those lovely purple stars on your plate. It's an optional extra, but if you have them in the garden and they're growing in a safe place, not sprayed or anything, why wouldn't you use them on your salads? Make the most of your lovely summer.
It's summer on a plate, really, isn't it?
It really is, isn't it? And it is alfresco dining. So I'm not saying now just go out and pick everything, but so many of the flowers are actually edible. There we go. I think I'll go with one more. Just try and get an exact star. And we pop it on. There we are. And we'll go there. And that is it. That is your beautiful Vietnamese beef salad. So now we have our savoury dishes sorted, we have to have dessert. And of course for me it has to be panna cotta, cooked cream, the classic Italian, but not an everyday version because mine is a little different. I'm doing mine with yogurt. And to start with, key ingredients, very simple dish. I'm going with cream and sugar and vanilla. I'm going to heat those through. But first of all, how am I going to set this panna cotta? I'm using leaf gelatine. This is the only type of gelatine that I would ever use. I don't bother with the powder gelatine. This works brilliantly, but you have to soak it beforehand in cold water, not hot water, because of course it melts in hot water, you never see it again. So you just pour your cold water over it like that and you just leave it to soften. And then you whisk it in or stir it in to the hot liquid when it's softened and it just melts in, and that's what helps set. So we'll just leave that there to do its magic. That'll take a couple of minutes, and all we need to do now is start on the panna cotta. And for that, I need my hop on, cream, vanilla, sugar. That's all that's going in. So this has just come to the boil now. Very quickly, let me show you what happens with the gelatine. Look at that. So this is 1.5 leaves of gelatine. It's all lovely and soft. Squeeze out the excess liquid because we don't need that in the recipe. Pop it in onto the hot cream and stir, and it just disappears in. Now I can turn the heat off now at this stage. And then for me, I'm going with yogurt. So a lovely, thick, natural yogurt, because you get the sweetness of the panna cotta, the richness of the cream, the lovely warm flavour of the vanilla, but the bite of the yogurt. And this is going to be a delicious dish. Now you need to make this in advance, but what I like about this is when you're entertaining, of which we will be able to have a few people in the back garden over the summer, it's really nice to have a dessert made beforehand. That's important. Because the last thing you want are last minute jobs. So let's just give this a nice stir here. Make sure it's nicely mixed. And then I'm going to serve it in martini glasses. Now classically a panna cotta is done in a ramekin, but in order to unmold the panna cotta, you sit it in warm water and tip it out. And do you know what? Later in the evening, when you're nice and relaxed, the last thing you want to be doing is fiddling with warm water and trying to turn them out. So I like to put them in glasses or pretty vintage cups where you don't have to think about it again. So for that, I have a jug here, and I'm just going to pour into the jug so that there's no spillages. And then into my glass. Nice and easy. These need to go to the fridge, and they need to be there for a good 4 hours to set. So give them time, but let them cool before you put them in the fridge. And then about 4 hours, and try and make these as even as possible. There we go. So it makes 4, and there we go. So that's the panna cotta. And next, we'll just put them aside, because there are some we made earlier. And, oops. The next thing we do is make a little compote to go on the top. Now with compote, any anything goes. It's what you like yourself. And in a couple of minutes, I know David has loads of ideas for what you can have here on top of your panna cotta in the UCD University Club. Let's get this on here now. So in here we have some lovely berries straight from the freezer, or you can use fresh. There's a lovely selection in here. I see blackberries, I see strawberries, red currants. What else is in there? Some blueberries. Black currants are in there as well. My favourite, I have them in my garden at home in Ballyknocken. Here we have brown sugar, because you do need a little bit of sweetness with your compote. Now I make this compote in batches because I have it with granola for breakfast. It's absolutely gorgeous. Some orange zest. Orange and berries. Beautiful flavour. Now, you need to build up your layers of flavour here, I think. Cinnamon. You can never go too far wrong with some cinnamon stick. If you don't have a cinnamon stick, just a pinch of cinnamon will do. And here is one of my favourite, star anise. I love a bit of star anise, don't you?
Oh,
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's lovely for flavour. Just be careful to lift it out before you serve up, because it's quite sharp. Yeah, so that lovely anise flavour. And then we simply get the heat on here, get our wooden spoon and give that a stir. Bring that to the boil, leave it for simmering, and then just take it off the heat, cool it and refrigerate it. Now, luckily, David has been very busy in the kitchen and he has some that he made earlier.
Exactly, you know. And so just to serve, these are well set at this stage. I'm just going to put a layer of this fresh berry compote on top.
That's lovely for colour, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It tastes even better.
Yeah, I do that with rhubarb as well.
Yeah.
Which is really nice, lovely rhubarb compote.
Rhubarb with a bit of ginger or something.
You know, now you're talking.
And then we'll just garnish up.
And David, tell me, what flavour panna cotta now could you have here in the UCD University Club?
Well, we have them on the menu here, and we'd often have a lemon yogurt on with maybe fresh blackberries. Or sometimes we'd actually do it with like a toffee popcorn, amaretto syrup. Just gives you that lovely texture, and it's the amaretto syrup, just a bit of indulgence at the end, really, you know.
I love the idea of the toffee popcorn on top with the amaretto syrup. That sounds gorgeous.
Yeah.
And do you use yogurt as well, or cream, or
yogurt, and some of them cream. Sometimes you use sheep's yogurt, you know.
brilliant?
Well, with like an elderflower syrup or some crushed meringue on top as well, you know.
And of course, sheep's yogurt is very in vogue here in Ireland at the moment.
Absolutely,
there's that lovely
yeah.
brand Velvet Cloud, and it's great to be supporting small farmers around Ireland as well.
Absolutely, and it tastes even better.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
so that's the main thing,
Fresh
you know.
from the farm.
Yeah, exactly, you know. So it is a versatile dessert. It's
Yeah.
very forgiving once you get the gelatin measurement right.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and it really carries any flavour.
Yeah, and then I usually just take it from the fridge because I just find if it's very cold, it's a bit set, a bit jelly-like.
About a half an hour before you need it as such, you know.
Yeah, yeah, just bring it to room temperature. But it's really summery, isn't it? And you could almost transport yourself to Italy. So we've had Asian flavours today, and now we're on to your Italian flavours. You can't have an Alfresco occasion without a good cocktail, and who doesn't love a really good cocktail? Now, I will stress, this can also be a mocktail. I am making a strawberry mojito cocktail, and for that, I need to get started with my strawberry syrup. So I have here some caster sugar, so in that goes, and some water. And you literally bring that to the boil, then let it simmer and reduce down to syrup stage, which takes about 5 minutes or so. So we'll make a bit of noise now and get cooking. So that's at syrup status now. You turn the heat off and then you pop in your strawberries. You could do the same with raspberries. And you leave the heat off and you just leave your strawberries there for as long as you can, and the colour of that strawberry will leach into the syrup and you get that lovely strawberry flavour. So we don't have to worry about that, but I want to show you what happens after a few hours. This is what you get. So the colour on that is gorgeous, isn't it?
Super, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you have that lovely beautiful strawberry aroma as well. So then back over here, now we're going to add even more strawberry flavour to it, so we want to muddle. So I have here just my jug, and in go my strawberries. If you can trust me to get strawberries into a jug. There we go. Now what goes really well with strawberries, and especially for this cocktail, we need lime. So let's just go with the lime. Let's be quite generous and pop in all this lime here. And then fresh mint. Beautiful for flavour. And I'm just going for it. And then you literally just muddle. So you just press down and just get all those flavours blended. And this is the base of the cocktail. So you will have little bits in the cocktail. Of course you could strain this out, but I leave it in because I think it looks nice. And if you didn't have one of these muddling sticks that David very kindly gave to me, you can use the top of a rolling pin as well. Like if you have a flat rolling pin, that's what I would use at home. Not that I do this every day at home, of course. There is, I should say, because I did say you can do a mocktail version of this. So we need rum in this recipe to get that flavour coming through. But I've also done it with just tonic water or sparkling water. And it's a lovely, refreshing drink, and the kids love it too. So I'm doing this with strawberry, David, but what other flavours now would you here in the UCD University Club do it?
I mean, we've often done them here with, say, mango and passion fruit, pineapple and lime.
Be lovely.
Or one of my favourites even is just ginger and lemongrass, you know? It's just not too sweet, warming.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a super cocktail. I mean, really any flavour you like, I mean, you marry into it.
Yeah, that's the great thing. You can just play with it a little bit. So there we go. I think we're good enough there. Like I say, you could strain this off if you wanted to, but I am very happy having these flavours coming through. Smells absolutely gorgeous. So the next thing then is we're popping in our lovely strawberry syrup. So in that goes. And after that, we have our rum. Of course, you'll measure this carefully at home. So we'll go with our measure. See, David gave me the measure, so I can't eyeball it. I have to be on my best behaviour here, you know. So it's about 120 mils for this, but you can make it as weak or as strong as you like, or like I say, you can bypass the rum altogether. It is nice to have like the little kick of alcohol, but you don't want it to be overpowering. Plus, you know, we will be able to have some small gatherings, I'm sure, over the summer. People want to know what they're drinking. They want to know that it's measured and that it's contained. So now we're on the home stretch here. The next thing then is ice, and then we finish with sparkling water. So we just pop our ice in. So you have to be quite generous with the ice here. And we're going to put in some fresh strawberries as well, which I have here behind me, I think. So I'll grab them. See how gingerly now I'm doing this. If I was doing this at home, I'd just chuck it all in. I want a nice bit of ice in it, you know, because, yeah, it is, isn't it? And then we go with our sparkling water. Now with the sparkling water, it does froth up a bit because the strawberries reacts with the lovely little bit of sparkle here. There we go. And we have fresh strawberries here. Thank you, David. So we just pop in our fresh strawberries. I'm just going with them as they are. These are nice big ones. These are the Wexford strawberries, are they? They look amazing. So we give it a stir here. And there we have it. Dave, would you like to do the honours? Pop her in the glass there?
Absolutely.
If you can. Mine's a large one. While David's pouring, I wanted to say to you, thank you so much for joining us today. Some of you may know I have an online cookery school, which I just launched before Christmas. And now I have a barbecue course up there. So you can have Alfresco dining all summer. And we're giving away prize of 4 places on this online barbecue course that you can watch anytime, any place, anywhere, right? But it's going at random to 4 of you who are tuned in today. So you may hear from us and you can be having your gorgeous barbecue Alfresco dining all summer. But here is our strawberry mocktail. So thank you for tuning in. Chin chin, as they say. We'll see you again soon.